Have you ever wondered exactly how do we start to make a streaming channel and all that? Of course, there's people that wants to do it as a hobby, but of course there's also people who wants to do it into a business or career. Just like myself, I am more into the career side because I love doing these things besides playing games. Before you do that, I do suggest one thing, or maybe five things. Yes, guys, this is another video with me, Carl, on Shut Up Carl TV, and I'll tell you five things to consider before starting your own streaming channel. Before we move on, I would like to remind everyone that my schedule on Twitch is on every Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays. For all the times, you can always check on the details below. Now, let's get down to business. Alright, I know a lot of you might have a lot of questions exactly how do you want to start your own streaming channel, right? There are things that needs to be considered before you actually start your own streaming channel. So to help you guys step up or at least have a very, very good start, especially learning from my own mistakes, why don't I tell you five things to consider before you start your own streaming channel. Point number one, know your tools. There are a few tools that you should know first beforehand before actually going on streaming. First and foremost, of course, you have your own streaming tools like Slobs or OBS, stream elements with OBS, so on and so forth, like XSplit. What people mostly use doesn't mean that it's the best tool in the world, because I've been recommended by a lot of people, especially like Harris Heller. They love to use stream elements with OBS. But myself, I prefer to use Slobs, which is Streamlabs OBS, but well, there's definitely a lot more things that you can do with OBS compared to Slobs. But enough about that, we'll do that in another topic. Other tools that you should definitely consider is basically your own hardware, like cameras, computers, whether you're going to stream it on handphones, these kinds of things. When you get to know more about all these kinds of tools, you get to exactly design something in your mind or plan something exactly like a first impression, so that you'll be able to catch that very good first impression for every of your viewers or potential viewers. And of course, lastly, on the first part, which is platform. Whether it's going to be on Twitch, whether it's going to be on Facebook Gaming, it's really up to you guys. But if you're asking me exactly where should we go, check out my previous video exactly why I left Facebook Gaming in the first place. Point number two, which is community. Building a community is, I would say, easy enough. Reason why I would say easy enough, especially if you start off from Facebook Gaming, community building is actually quite easy. All you have to do is look for those who actually can help you. I wouldn't say it in the most opportunistic way. I would say that if there is a way for you to network yourself better, build your community that way. One thing is for sure, you should always appreciate whoever drops by. Trust me, you'll never know what will happen. If not, why don't you also give yourself some time to drop by other people's streams, and maybe you can actually grow outside from there. Just to take for example myself, how I met one streamer, which her name is Murder Monroe. I actually met her on Facebook Gaming at first, and then we became friends. Well, not really yet. We practically I just became her viewer. And from then on, she just brought me to a raid to meet another guy, which is Tyreds or Andy. And we pretty much clicked and connect with everyone that we meet. And on Twitch, basically my whole community grew, but it's not just Twitch alone. On Facebook Gaming, I also have my own community running, and it's been quite a very, very good journey, I must admit though. And it's because of these considerations, because of all these things that you put a bit more effort into it, you can connect with everyone, not only with other streamers, even with your viewers, because you have to understand, even your viewers give you more potential than just another streamer. Because if there's one person who's gonna talk about you, there'll be another person who's gonna talk about you, and everyone is just gonna talk about you. At the end of the day, you're just gonna build your own community. To maintain that community, however, it's really another topic. But keep in mind, if you want to build a community, always make sure that you know exactly where is your community like, or what are they like. Because if you cannot find a niche, I can tell you for sure it's going to be a lot harder to market yourself, because there are differences between gamers or streamers who plays variety of games, and of course those who play a selected game. Like, say for myself, I'm a lot more known into the Apex community. Anything about Apex, I basically put it into discussion, and I try to make a lot of fun, and then try to build my whole community surrounding Apex Legends. I have streamers that I actually help them out, how to train, blah blah blah, yada yada, and basically that's where my community has been built up. Even though that right now I'm trying to branch out a bit into variety gaming, otherwise, I'm still much more known to play Apex Legends. And then we come to point number 3. Now, this is one of those very, very crucial points. I would say reason why is it reflects yourself. I will tell you one thing straight down, straight facts. Nobody outside there wants to see anyone who pretends to be someone else. Granted, we have Dr. Disrespect being a persona, but it's because of that persona that he's actually so well known of. That's why people actually get his concept and are very attracted to it. Just like my own viewers who likes to be in my own thing, because they like to chill, they like to talk about life, they like to talk about a few little things, a bit of politics, a bit of gaming, mostly gaming and Apex Legends. When they know who you are, and when you don't pretend to be someone else, and when you are more genuine to be yourself, trust me on this, people will like you a lot more. Just that, of course, you're going to need a bit more charisma when it comes to being in front of the camera, but no doubt about it. I mean, I myself, I would say that I can be socially awkward because I do have a bit of social anxiety. Trust me, this that I'm doing right now is quite a mental battle. I'm supposed to be shooting this last Monday. Now, point number 4 kind of goes back to a bit of point number 2, which is partly about building communities. It's all about knowing your own target audience. Reason why I say this is because I don't think that there's a lot of streamers. I wouldn't say that conclusively, but I do think that a lot of streamers, they don't really know their own niche. Reason why I say that is that because people tend to follow a type of trend. Let's say, for example, Malaysia. Number 1, GTA 5. Well, I did play GTA 5 for a while, but I'm still an Apex Legends player. 2, we got that worm game. I just don't get that game. Number 3, basically Mobile Legends, but we might be seeing a bigger competition considering that League of Legends just released Wild Rift. So even solos has decided to go there. We might be seeing a very, very good competition finally, because MOBA has been, well, a bit too dry for me. Despite that, I don't really watch MOBA games anyway. Irregardless of that, it's just more about you knowing your own thing. What you love is what you should really push out rather than pretending to just know something. Like, for real, you wouldn't see me just play Mobile Legends or Dota 3 whenever I don't know their shit, you know? But that doesn't mean that you cannot try. For sure, you can try. But of course, like I said, don't pretend. Just be yourself. Be confident with yourself. Even if you're scared, always do one step at a time. Don't measure yourself day by day, second by second, minutes by minutes. Reason why is because if you're going to constantly analyze yourself and try to see the progress that way, you will be met with a lot more disappointments. And it comes lastly to point number 5, which is just start. No, for real, just start streaming. Regardless whether you're doing this for a hobby, regardless whether you're doing this for a part-time career, just try it. I've tried it 3 times, guys. And on the third time's the charm. I've actually built Shut Up Carl TV, and look where we're heading. We're already on Twitch, we're also on Facebook. We're not really the biggest, but I consider it as a success because it's a stepping stone that we did not even achieve on the previous 2 attempts. So can you imagine, like, some of us managed to go to it this far? Just don't feel that whenever you failed miserably. Because success is really subjective, that's one thing. But of course, there's an objective to it, which is once you've already created that objective for yourselves, try to achieve it. Yes, there's of course the objective to get money, but you can't really get money if you don't really have much to give. So it's really a give and take thing. You have to understand that, especially in terms of the business side of streaming, is that you are running a business. So a business must be run like a business. Must be run? But yes, just don't fear about failing, especially on stream. You can always change your designs every time until you've really found that kind of look that you want. Branding is definitely one of those things that you should always experiment all the time. Try to do your best to avoid using the same style logo with everyone else that looks, I don't know, with the bold characters and that vector look with the ninja and all that. Yeah, I'm getting really tired of that. I think I would love to see a lot more creativity for everyone to just try something new. Don't matter if it's going to fail, all at least you know is that you tried. Alright guys, that's it for all my 5 things to consider on this video. And if you guys have any other points to consider, just leave a comment down below, right? And if you guys like this video, always give a thumbs up for us. If you don't like it, just give a thumbs down. And do consider to subscribe. And if you'd like to support us even further, please consider to become one of our patrons on Patreon. And guys, don't forget, I'm always live on Twitch on every Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays. Alright, every other details down below. I'll see you guys next time. Ciao.